Are you a service-based business owner looking to increase profits to fund your lifestyle? Well, this podcast is for you. We bring you inspirational guests sharing actionable tips to solve many of the struggles you face each and every day. And now, over to your host, Paul Higgins.
Hi, Paul here. Before we get into the show, would you like to make a great first impression on LinkedIn? If so, I have something just for you. When people search for your name on Google, your LinkedIn profile will normally come up first. Before meeting someone for the first time, how often do they view your LinkedIn profile? For many coaches and consultants I begin to work with, their profiles don't do them any justice. I've created a simple solution where you can whip your profile into shape to have your best foot forward when attracting new clients on LinkedIn. Go to blgdownload.com, so that's blgdownload.com, to get your 5 killer tips today. Hello to the Build, Live, Give Solo Podcast, episode number 298. If it's your first time, welcome. And if you love what you hear, please subscribe. I recommend listening to episode 0.5 as a guide for you. If you're a regular, thanks for your support. It means the world to me, and I will give you the opportunity to reach out to me via email at the end. I love listening to podcasts and always have follow-up questions. If you're the same, go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/question and lodge yours, and I promise to answer it. Please check out past shows on your favorite platform. Just search Build, Live, Give. I'm now up to 298 of them, so there's a few to go through. Shout out to my dad who inspired me for this topic. So today's topic is sales shift, and I should have really said sales mindset shift, but someone told me to keep short titles. But what you will learn is where the balance of decision making sits in sales, how to leverage it, and how to close more sales. So my mum and dad were married for 50 years. Mum was the organizer and dad was the guy who brought all the laughs. Mum passed away in July 2019 from an inherited kidney condition called polycystic kidney disease, the same one that I have. Mum was so happy, though, that she got to see me have a transplant before she passed. And really, I think she lasted probably 2 years on dialysis longer than she really should have. That's what all the specialists said, because she wanted to see a better outcome for me, and it was brilliant that my best mate Brendan did that. And we all miss her, but no one misses her as much as Dad. He actually goes out there 3 times. When I say there, goes out to where she's buried 3 times a week at least to put flowers there. They were best friends. She always did everything for Dad. Now he lives in a country town. He lives in the same country town, and he has amazing friends who look after him. So he's not completely alone, and he's blessed to have that. They're great people. I call him every second day, and I play the role that Mum often did. Yes, okay, it's obvious. I take more after my mum than my dad. He's so relaxed, and I brought up the topic of a COVID shot. So here we've got AstraZeneca here in Australia at the moment, and he qualified being 75. And to me, it's very important to get the jab because I'm immune suppressed, and therefore, I'm high risk. I was in 1B of our rollout, but Dad could have also got it as well. And, he qualified, as I said, but, I sort of forgot the fact that he was making the decision. I wasn't making him for it. And I suggested he just goes and get the jab as soon as it becomes available. And each time I asked him, he made a joke about it and said, yeah, I'll get around to that. But, he wasn't headed in that way at all. And I really, stepped back and thought about it. And, I want the absolute best for Dad, and therefore I believed I had the right to tell him what he should do, right? I know it didn't always work for Mum and Dad, but that's what Mum did for, at least the 50 years they were married. But, sometimes, you shouldn't expect that your expertise or your background gives you the right to actually help someone else make a decision, right? And how often do we do this? How often do we use our expertise and just assume that we're doing the right thing by people? We've got brilliant intent. We really want to help them, but we're actually, making the decision for them, or we think we are, but really we're not. And just think about it now. How many times does that happen for you when you're the expert selling services in a business? So I'll continue this in a moment. But before I do, I'd like to talk to you about Leadjet.io. Ever looked at a LinkedIn profile and had to manually put the information in your CRM? I'll get that right. Ever sent someone a message on LinkedIn and had to copy and paste a sales CRM or even your team, which, waste time. So no more with leadjet.io. It does both of these activities automatically for you on most of the major sales CRMs, including Copper, which is the one we love, Pipedrive, HubSpot, Salesforce, and many more to come. So why not check it out at buildlivegive.com/leadjet.io, or actually just Leadjet, not the IO. So, I had made the fatal mistake that all I was doing is making assumptions and decisions on behalf of my dad. And, we all do this on behalf of our clients. And like I said before, we've got the best intent at heart, but we don't always get it right. And, I didn't really understand why Dad didn't want to take the COVID shot. And then, look, for me, to be honest, I just assumed that he was lazy and that's why he wasn't doing it. But to cut a long story short, I realised that his true reason for getting a COVID shot was the fact that he was fearful to come to the city. He is to drive there anyway, but he was fearful to come because he didn't want to potentially contract it and definitely take it back to his community where he lived, where they've never had a case of COVID. And also, the reason he comes to the city is to see his grandchildren, right? So that's really important to him. So once I understood the clear motivation for him doing it, and we talked about that, then he went and signed up. So where are you making assumptions and putting your expertise ahead of the reason why someone may need to buy your service? So what I've done to help me in this and my clients is create a triage call process to help ask better questions so I don't make the mistakes like I did with my dad up front. And, in a personal relationship, you don't always default to a template, etc., but in work, we can. And if you'd like a copy of it, just please email me at paul@buildlivegive.com and I'll personally make sure that I send it to you. So 3 key actions from today. 1 is make a sales shift and understand that your prospect is the one who is making the decision, not you. Next call, take more time to see it from their perspective. So practice what you're learning here. And the third is to reach out and grab the triage call from me. Just email me at paul@buildlivegive.com. You can get all the links to the show notes at paulhigginsmentoring.com/podcast. It's episode 298 on the app that you're listening to right now. I recommend the Pocket Cast app. Not a sponsor, but it is a fantastic app, especially if you're on the Apple platform. Listen to episode 0.5 if you're new, to give you a great overview of all the podcasts. If you want to know if you have a sales machine to deliver you 1 to 3 high-paying clients a month, go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/polls. All of these links will be in the show notes, by the way. The Pulse is 9 critical questions that you can answer in 3 minutes. Please connect and follow me on LinkedIn. That's where I love to post my content. If you know someone interested in improving their sales mindset, please share this with them. They will love you for it. Please take action to build, live, and give.
Thanks for listening to the Build, Live, Give podcast. If you like what you heard, please share it and leave us a review. It would mean the world to us.